Hello, everybody out there. So for today's video, as the title suggested, I wanted to do a video on being thankful and kind of the two sides of being thankful. One side being a little bit more positive and one side being a little bit more negative. Excuse me. So today's video was not exactly what I planned on doing. I actually had someone recently ask me about that too. Like, why do you say that you didn't plan on doing this video today? And also, like, why do you say that you don't edit your videos? So the point being is that at the end of the day, I'm kind of going for like authenticity and genuineness. I don't know if that's an actual word. So the idea behind all the videos that I'm doing is I'm not trying to pick a topic and absolutely having to stick with it no matter what. If there is something that comes up or someone asks a question and wants me to do a video on it or a live stream or whatever, I can push aside the other things that I've been wanting to do or had planned to do to answer questions or go over topics at hand that I feel like deserve to be talked about in that moment. Same thing with the whole editing. I don't edit my videos because at the end of the day, excuse me, I want them to be as genuine as possible, and I don't like the whole edit cuts that you see in people's videos or live streams or whatever, and I'm just not a big fan of it. So that is the reason for today's video being a little bit more, maybe a little more choppy or bouncing around than normal. Because like I said, I really didn't have it planned, but I was listening to a lot of people talk today about being thankful and kind of what that meant to them after everything that happened here in Texas. So I wanted to talk about it. So obviously, if you don't know, which hopefully everyone does, Texas recently decided to just shut down for about a week due to the snowstorm that we had. Obviously, comparatively to Chicago or Seattle or Canada, obviously it wasn't too crazy, but for us, it was the end of the world. Being from the Pacific Northwest, I've seen more snow before, obviously, in my life, and I've driven in more snow. But here, obviously, especially in San Antonio, where the average day it's 70 to 80 degrees, maybe not necessarily in winter, but on average it's about 70 degrees. Getting 3 to 5 inches of snow in some places is going to be the end of the world. It's equivalent to like 2-3 feet of snow. So Texas kind of shut down. So people didn't have power, people didn't have water, people didn't have access to food because the grocery stores are running out of food, or you couldn't get to the grocery store because the roads were closed. So a lot of people here in Texas in general, and I'm sure other places as well, just didn't have basic necessities. So like I said, listening to a lot of people talk the last couple of days, there's a lot of people saying like that we need to be really thankful. And I can say like right off the bat that for the positive side of things, I would agree with them. You do need to be thankful. And I think storms like this or situations like this where we don't have power or the internet or food or water for, a couple of days, or it's hard to get access to them, excuse me, it really does make us stop and appreciate the small little things like that. And I think that it's one of those things that we kind of need to carry with us on a daily basis, is really just being thankful for all the things that we do have, especially here in the United States. Obviously, we have access to electricity, to the internet, to water, to food, to education, to having different freedoms that other countries don't have access to. So I really feel like for the average person, like, that doesn't like do this daily, like, you need to like kind of remind yourself, like, oh shit, like, I have running water, like, I can use the toilet right now, like, and it'll flush, like, I don't have to go out behind like the building or some crazy shit like that. So I think really kind of having like these little moments like that, like, help us refresh. I think the hard thing is really like figuring out a way to like daily remind ourselves. I really think it's just being aware and really just, like I said, thinking about the fact that we do have a lot of advantages living in this country that we take advantage of, and we don't really like appreciate or care about. So I really think it is important to daily, and like, it's one of those things, like I said, it's hard to do because when you have access to this stuff every day, you kind of get numb to it. But I think it's kind of like challenging yourself to be like, okay, like, hey, I was able to wash my hands, or I was able to turn the TV on, or I could use my cell phone right now to Google search what time does Chipotle close. I mean, all these little things like that, I think are great things that are little moments to just stop and just say thank you to the universe, say thank you to God, thank you to whoever, but just appreciate the fact that you have access to these things that other people would kill to have access to on a daily basis, especially when it comes, like I said, to like food, shelter, water, like basic things that people should have access to. It's just slowing down, and I guess that'd be kind of my advice, is just to slow down, breathe, say thank you, and be appreciative, because obviously at the end of the day, like, not everyone has access to it. So on the other side of things, and also today's video is going to be a little bit shorter than normal because I didn't really have as much time, like I said, as normal to prepare. I really didn't prepare for this video at all because it kind of came up last minute after like everyone getting out of work today and kind of like hearing what everyone was saying. But on the other side that I did mention, And I feel like this is kind of like I like thinking about things in weird ways. So this is, I guess, the reason why like my brain doesn't just say like, okay, like be thankful for be thankful for like having things that people don't have, but also like, is there any more to it? And I really do believe that I have struggled with it. So I think that maybe if I've struggled with it, there's 8 billion people on the planet. So maybe somebody else had like the same like weird thought process as me, I hope. But as far as the way my brain works, there are times where people tell you like, hey, you should be thankful that you have this or whatever it may be. And I feel like sometimes we kind of can limit ourselves to what we really feel like we should have or what we should accomplish or what we can achieve within like our society, regardless of what country you live in, but especially if you live in the US. The reason being is that it's really easy. And like I said, I've done it before myself. I'm like, oh, like I should be happy. I should be happy that I have food, water, electricity, internet, like I have clothes, a home, like a car. Excuse me. That should be enough. Like I should be satisfied with what I have. But I feel like when we tell people that, like you should be happy with everything that you have, like it's true, like you should be happy, you should be appreciative. But I think it's really easy to fall into the trap of like, well, I have all these things that other people don't have. And it makes it really easy to like not pursue, like it sounds dumb, but like not having more shit or not achieving more, not making more money, not having a better job, not having a better home, a better life, better relationships, whatever it may be, better education. But I feel like a lot of times we can fall into that trap of getting comfortable because we think like, oh, other people don't have this stuff. I do. Why do I need more? And I'm not saying that you have to be a greedy person and like, you know, just chase money and like you have to have everything in the world to like be happy. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is don't get to a complacent state where you're like, oh, other people don't have these things, so I should just be happy and satisfied with where I am. Because then at the end of the day, you're not going to end up living up to your full potential. The whole thing about this video as well is it definitely kind of has like segued for me into another video that I'm going to do probably this week, probably on Wednesday. I'm going to be out of town on Wednesday, so hopefully I can end up doing it live. If not, I'll just record the video. But I do want to do a video on the idea of being complacent and getting too comfortable, and that the fact that we are comfortable with being comfortable. And I think that kind of can stem, like I said, from the idea of other people not having stuff and just feeling like, well, if they don't have it, I do, I should be fine where I am. Like I said, the idea for today's video is pretty short, but like I said, I did want to like just talk about it because I feel like there are the moments in time where we need to slow down and be appreciative, and it shouldn't take a storm or a hurricane or some crazy shit happening for us to actually appreciate the small things that we have that are actually in the grand scheme really big things for people that don't have them. Again, just the access to running water, if you really think about it. If you didn't have access to running water or electricity, for weeks or months or your entire life, like how much would you appreciate having it for a few days? Like, so really just slowing down, taking that moment to think about it. And I think that's something that we really need to do. But also on the flip side of things and kind of thinking about it differently, don't get too caught up in being comfortable and thinking, well, other people don't have something, so therefore I can be comfortable, I'm good to go, like I don't need to achieve more or have more. So at the end of the day, the whole thing about these videos and all the different platforms that I'm using, I have a goal of helping 100 million people. It's a crazy goal. I know that it's really high, but it's what I want to do. There's 8 billion people, so 100 million shouldn't be too hard. The best way for me to be able to do that, though, is for people to share the videos. At the end of the day, if you want to like or subscribe to my content, that's awesome. I appreciate the support. I don't like asking people to do that because I feel it comes off very disingenuous, which again is the reason why I don't have some script for my video or edit or cut my videos, because I just feel like it feels disingenuous, and that's the whole point. Is I want to be as genuine and realistic and real as possible, because I feel like so much content out there is just noise and it's just people just being full of shit. So again, if you want to support me like that, it's great. But the best and like easiest way for me to be able to help people is if people share the content. So if it was helpful to you, if you feel like it'll be helpful for somebody else, or maybe someone will just get a laugh out of something I do now or in the future, feel free to please share it either on your page or directly to them, or however you want to do it. But that'll be the best way for me to be able to help more people in a shorter amount of time. This is the point in time in my videos though, or my streams, I guess, rather, where I do like to answer live questions. So on Facebook Live and Twitch TV, I will be answering live questions. So if you are watching this on YouTube and you want to be part of that, feel free to head over to one of those channels, Mondays, Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central, Or Saturdays, I believe I'm going to do like 1 or 1:30. I don't know exactly yet. One of those times on Saturday Central Time as well to ask questions live about the topic that I covered or any other topic that you have questions about. I literally have people ask random questions about something I'm not even talking about during some of these videos, so don't hesitate and feel free, excuse me, to ask questions about whatever you want to ask about, or message me directly and I can answer them that way as well. So what I got for the YouTube family out there, guys. Stay healthy and safe. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Have a great night, guys. Bye.